Hello and welcome to GIGSANDGUITARS.COM. Today I'm going to talk about truss rod and neck adjustment. When it comes to how well a guitar plays, or the sheer playability of a guitar, it's all about the neck. In fact, neck adjustment is the first and most important thing that needs to be done. If the neck isn't adjusted properly, everything else will suffer. There's more to it than just cranking on the truss rod with a wrench. Okay, here's how it works. The truss rod allows you to compensate for the string tension. The strings are always pulling the neck forward. The truss rod is there to push back. And the goal is finding the balance of tension so that the neck is almost flat with a very slight relief. Tightening the truss rod, or clockwise, will put more back pressure on the neck. Loosening the truss rod will release that back pressure so that the strings can pull the neck forward. You're looking for that balance, that almost flat plane of existence. Because there, almost flat, nearly flat, the guitar will play better end to end, and it will intonate better. It's just the way it needs to be. Okay, first thing you want to do before you even adjust the neck is check the fretboard and make sure it's not dry. If the fretboard is dry, stop what you're doing and moisturize it. This is what I use. Scott's Liquid Gold Wood Cleaner and Preservative, and I prefer the almond scent. Great stuff. Unbelievable. Scott's Liquid Gold. I'm looking for an endorsement, Scott's. Okay, if the fretboard is dry and you adjust the neck, bad things can happen. When it's dry, what that means is that the fretboard has shrunk, it's contracted. So this may even contribute to the bow, as in this guitar it has a little bit more relief than we want. The fretboard contracting, that contributes to the forward bow, and as does the string tension. The other things that can happen are the frets can pop up. Inlays can become loose, and they will actually rise and pop up, or even fall out. The binding can crack and pull away from the neck. The neck can twist because of the dry fretboard, or it can be a contributing factor. You can also get cracks in your fretboard if it's really dry. So, if it's dry, stop. Don't do anything. In fact, I've seen them so dry a few times where I didn't even loosen up the strings. I sprayed the Scott's, rubbed it in, and let that moisturize. Repeat that process over 2 or 3 or 4 days until the fretboard is moisturized properly. Then loosen the strings and proceed. Anyways, a lot of bad things can happen if you got a dry fretboard. So, don't just come in here with a wrench and start cranking on the truss rod. Okay, next we want to determine the amount of adjustment that we need. And for that, what we're going to do is, we're going to run a string line, basically. We're going to press down at about the 15th, 16th fret, right where the neck meets the body. The truss rod adjustment is not going to help you up here. It's not going to make any difference at all. The truss rod adjustment is going to help you in here. So we're going to press down the low E here and at the 1st fret. Then we're going to reach up to about the 7th fret and we're going to check that. The distance between the string and the fret, that's the relief. This one has more than we want. Guitar this nice, with the frets very level, you can go almost flat and it will play like a dream. The other thing you want to do is you want to check all 6 strings. You want to make sure that there's no twisting in the neck. In other words, if you run that string line here to here, and then you see that distance, it should be the same all the way across. If you have a lot more distance on the treble side and less on the bass side, it means, or even flat on the bass side, it means that the neck is twisted. And we're going to talk about bass side strings versus treble side strings here in a second. Okay, the other thing you want to do is we want to check this neck. We want to look at the neck from both ends. We want to look down the breech, and we're looking for humps, indentations, any anomaly, anything that looks odd or out of the ordinary. This looks real nice. Want to check it the other way, look down the barrel. She's looking good. I can see the relief. We have more than we want, but it's a consistent relief. And the maximum relief is, again, right in here about 7 or 8. Next, the fretboard is not dry, although we are going to moisturize as we set this guitar up. There's no other issues that we can see. There's no humps or dips in the neck. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Now, what you want to do before you actually adjust is loosen the strings. Never adjust the neck with the strings at full tension. In fact, take the tension completely off, and here's why. You'll have 3 or 4 times the tension on the bass side that you do on the treble side just because of the size of the strings. And the truss rod isn't designed to compensate for that. It's one rod going through the center of the neck with all that wood around it, and it's a end-to-end adjustment, nothing to do with side to side. So if you adjust the truss rod nut with the strings at full tension, 440, or if you're a half step down, wherever the guitar is going to live, that's where it should be tuned right now. But the truss rod is not going to help you there. So loosen those strings, because that can cause twisting. It's just not the way to do it. You want the neck to be adjusted where you want it to be without string tension. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and drop the string tension. Okay, lovely. Then we're going to take out our 5/16 wrench. You can do this with a socket. Got one right here. I prefer the wrench on really nice stuff. I just do, because it's more of a manual thing. Okay, we're going to tighten about a half a turn, no more than that, 1/4 to a half a turn. First go round. Take the wrench off, then we're going to help the neck. We're going to push it down a little, we're going to pull it up a little, we're going to go both ways. We're going to help it. Don't expect the truss rod to do all the work because of that wood that's around it. Ton of wood, and it's fairly wide considering what that truss rod does and where it is. So, help it out some. Now, experience tells me that I'm probably going to need one more click on that nut, clockwise, tightening. Let's make it a small click, about a 1/4 turn. Okay, we're going to help it again. Down, up. Great. That helping the neck, helping the truss rod, that'll put it in the pocket a lot faster. Okay, now we're going to pop on our trusty tuner. Okay, there it is. Really close. Close enough to check the neck, which is really, it's got to be really close. But the guitar is laying down. We want to check the tuning just to make sure with the guitar in the playing position. Okay, very good. Now, let's run our string line again. It's better, but it's not there. So we're going to do this again. We're going to loosen. There, we're loose again. So we're going to tighten. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot. We're going to go about a 1/4 of it. Let me pull this string out of here. We're going to go about a 1/4 of a turn. We want this neck pretty darn flat, because we're going to go along here after this and level those frets, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. Once we get it really close laying down, then we're going to put it in the plane position. We're going to check our neck adjust. Ooh, we are so close. That's nearly flat. Okay, bang on it a couple times. Ooh, that's just a little bit flat. That's almost perfectly flat. And there you have it. Truss rod neck adjustment. GIGSANDGUITARS.com. Stay tuned.